Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is Popping Culture. My guest today is comedian Miss Micah. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks. The topic you chose that we're going to discuss is social media influencers. But before we get into that, whenever I have comedians on, I like to ask a lot of people like to focus on bombing, but I'm more focused on succeeding. So, when was the first time you killed and how did it feel?
Uh, let's see. I think I've actually had a few really good open mic sets where I felt like I got actually really good long laughs compared to like some of the shows I did. Um, yeah, I think a couple weeks ago I had a one set an open mic and I listened to the recording and I feel like almost every joke kind of like hit and it just felt great compared to some other stuff where I listen and like I'm like, okay, come on, laugh, like give me some reaction. But that one was like I listened to it a few times because I was like, okay, I can't believe almost every joke just hit. So it was great.
Nice, nice. Um, Does anything you've done before compare to that feeling?
Mm, could you rephrase that question? Maybe I didn't understand the question
The
right.
feeling you got from killing
Oh,
on stage, does anything else you've done before that compare to that feeling?
um, let's see. I've done a pretty I've done pretty like interesting things in my life. Like I mean, it's just like the rush of adrenaline when you like get off the stage and you know you've done great. But I guess I can compare to like a couple of years ago I used to travel a lot for like bands and then I mean now and then I would like get to meet one of them and just talk to them. So I guess it's kind of like the same feeling where it's like, okay, I can't believe this just happened and this just feels so great. You like in a moment, you have like this adrenaline rush and you're like, oh my god, this feels so great. Kind of like the same like when you have a show when you go on stage and it's like this initial moment you're like standing there and everybody's giving you the attention and it's just like this really great feeling.
Nice, nice. Um, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a favorite band?
Yeah, do you know Bastille, the British band? Never heard of them?
Who do they sound like?
It's like kind of like indie popish. Um, yeah, I don't know what to compare them to. I feel like they got like their own style. I guess they're more known in Europe since they're from England.
Are they like a British Panic at the Disco?
Not. I don't think it's not that poppy and
Oh,
party like. Because I think he's like all energized and like kind of like mainstream kind of poppy, but they kind of got their own kind of touch to it.
okay. Um, as you guys can tell, you're not, they can tell from your voice that you're not from America. Could you share where you're from?
I'm originally from Germany, and I moved to South Carolina 10 years ago this year.
How's it been? Like the transition? Well, 10 years in, I guess you're used to it now. But how was it the first year?
It was difficult because in school they only teach us British English, and the first time I visited, I was so lost understanding people because my English was never that great in school. Like I actually had tutoring in English because I had so bad grades, and when I came here, especially with the southern accent, there was like times where I had to ask people like 5 times, like, "What did you just say?" Because the southern accent was so strong, where I was like, I was so lost.
Okay. Well, you speak English better than some people I know, so just letting you know that. One last question, and this is totally biased, so I hope this isn't offensive. I really hope it isn't offensive. The first time you had sweet tea, was that in America?
Yeah, yeah, we don't really have sweet tea in Germany, and I never really drink pure sweet tea. Like I can't stand it. It's like too much. I either like have unsweet or half and half. Because I
Okay.
remember one time I went to McDonald's drive-through and I ordered an unsweet, and she gave me a sweet by accident, and I took one sip and my face just went like, "Whoa, what is happening?" It felt like it had like 20 spoons of sugar per zip. I'm like,
Yeah, that
I can't,
that's
I can't.
that's the right amount when it comes to Southern sweet tea. That's right. We don't go by teaspoons or tablespoons. We just, okay.
Until the spoon just keeps getting stuck.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. If we don't have that little bit of sugar at the bottom that won't stir up, yeah. Okay, cool, cool. So you chose the topic of social media influencers and how they have influenced pop culture. Was there any special reason why you chose it?
um, I was trying to like think of a topic, and because I don't really keep up with like lots of like what's going on, like stars or movies or anything, and I'm never really up to date. So I figured, okay, what's going on that's kind of on my mind. So I figured, okay, lately I've been really annoyed kind of like by influencers and how they like take over social media, and compared to the people that actually like work hard and try to build up like a following online. For us it's like really hard, so I felt like that might be a fitting topic to discuss, since
Yeah,
I guess everybody's kind of like affected by it.
yes, yes. Um, I want to tag on to what you said about them being annoying. Um, I can totally agree. I hate the ones that get famous from pranks. I think I just found out like the Paul brothers, the Jake and Paul, the whatever I think the last name Paul. I'm not sure. The guys that are boxing now, those brothers, Jake Paul and the other guy, Logan Paul and Jake Paul. But like they got famous from just pranking people, and like that's how they gained their like YouTube status and social media influence status. That's how they began. They were pranking people, and people enjoy seeing it. I guess. Do you have any that come to mind that you know by name?
I don't really know them by name. I just know them by like mainly on Instagram, like scrolling through my time feed, and I don't know how the algorithm picks all these influencers, because my Instagram is mainly like comedy, entertainment related. So they're like showing me all these like influencers that have like fashion or coffee or whatever products that I don't really relate to. Um, so I don't really know any by name, but usually like when they come up, I like click on their profile just to like see like how well they're doing with followers and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't know if they all just like focus on like specific brands. I guess they have like their niche, like fashion or fitness. And yeah, I don't know any by name, but it's just so much on my timeline where I'm like, okay, just like
Yeah,
I'd rather have like, because I feel like Instagram feed has changed, because maybe like a year ago I remember I've actually seen advertisements from like actual companies, and now it's just influencers. There's not
yeah,
really any ads for products anymore.
yeah. Um, some of them turn into comedians, and some of them turn into business people. How do you feel about the ones that do skits? Those social media influencers, the one that do skits. Do you like those better?
um I I'm like, I have like mixed feelings about it. I feel like if somebody's like in it just to like, okay, I just want to get like so many followers and I want to be famous because of my TikToks, and I really I can't really relate with them, because I just look at it from my perspective. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make it in comedy, which requires me to work like really hard, spend hours, weeks to write like a decent joke. And then I put so much work into it to have like one joke to where they just pop up, do some silly random stuff, and then just get famous with it. Where I'm like trying to get like 5 views with for something I work really hard on. And yeah, the people that just post some skits, they get like go viral and people follow them, and then from the big following they get like probably some deals to like um eventually make money with it because of their big following.
Yeah.
It's
With
just, yeah, it's just frustrating.
yeah. With a big following does come the opportunities for them to make ad money and sponsor money. What's the craziest thing you've seen someone sponsor?
Mm, the craziest. Mm, I don't know if I've seen any crazy stuff yet that got sponsored. Um, what I did notice was there was a few profiles that I like follow, and then I guess they got like a big following, and out of the nowhere they started doing all these like paid sponsorships. Um, like I don't know if you've seen the have you seen the is it the dude with the sign
Yeah.
that always holds up the cardboard sign? Like I think last year he had like a year ago when the pandemic hit, he had like close to 1 million followers. Now he's got like 7 million, and then it was pretty much just him with the sign writing all kinds of like nonsense on it. So then recently, a couple of weeks ago, I guess he started a sponsorship. So now every time he has like a sign, you can like see he's like sponsoring some kind of company with whatever stupid message he has on the board. Um, so I guess it's like one of those things where you're like, okay, this is stupid, totally stupid. A guy that just stood on the street with a sign, like writing something on, like wear your mask, and then or don't screenshot your Zoom meeting, something like that, and then out of nowhere, he's got like 7 million followers and all these like paid sponsorships, and it's just one of those things where he does one weird, crazy thing and just totally takes off.
Yeah, it's crazy how like people they put. I think it's the same with comedy sometimes and a lot of other things where they do put. Sometimes they do put 10,000 hours in. Like they do steady like upload videos. The story that really it kind of touched me a little bit was the story of this guy named Dogface last year. I think it's Dogface 205. He's the guy that had the cranberry juice that was riding the
On the
skateboard.
skateboard, yeah.
Yeah, like he had been doing it for like almost like 2 years, and then out of nowhere, he's skateboarding on the way to work because his car's broken. He goes like he's like 4 hours into his shift. His coworkers are coming up to him like, "Hey man, you need to look at your phone." He looks at his phone, and he's just like, "Whoa, like how did this happen?" So some of the stories I hear are kind of like, oh man, that's kind of touching, like wow, just
Yeah.
can you imagine his boss seeing that and be like, this guy isn't gonna be here next week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I feel like the people that actually like work hard or like have like something they're working in, like if he actually like works in comedy or something and then takes off, I feel like okay, they kind of like deserve to be seen. But last was it last? I think last night I caved and I signed up for TikTok because I was refusing it like where I could because I'm like I don't want to be part of weird dance challenges or watch cat videos. And everybody keeps saying now is the time to get on TikTok, and they actually set like you can set your feed or your interest to where you don't see the stuff you don't want to see. And but it's still like I guess it's still hard because everybody is so programmed to see all these like challenges people do and just short stupid videos people post, and then you like I'm like trying to like post like short stand up bits for me, and then you're kind of like I feel like my stuff might not be like really fitting in when like somebody scrolls through the timeline, they see all these stupid things, and then here I am with like an actual like serious video trying to like get my name out. And so I'm just gonna give it a try. But it's hard to like not fall into the whole world where I'm like, okay, maybe I need to start doing stupid videos, and then people like start following. But then it's like, okay, you don't want to be like I want to be seen as like a serious stand-up comedian, and then I feel like okay, if all I do is just post a bunch of silly videos on TikTok, like do people like follow you because they like the silliness, or do they follow you because they might be a future fan of your stand-up and actually would come and see you? So it's like hard to like know what to put out there to get you somewhere and whatnot.
Yeah, you're completely right. That middle ground is hard, just because like I know a lot of comedians that are becoming more known. One comedian, for example, is Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis is a Charlotte comedian that's like big now, big time. Like yes, he's everywhere. Like he's famous. But like I can remember, like I want to say 2014, 2015, where he started doing like videos, like Instagram videos, Facebook videos, and it's just like it helped him build a following from that. Just doing that on social media, he was able to get a tour. And yeah, the guy's on like Curve Your Enthusiasm. Like he's big time now, but it shows that like you the good thing about social media and social media influencers is it shows that like you don't need Hollywood, you don't need some big company. You can match what a big company is. You can make that company come to you. And I think that's one of the good things about it.
Yeah.
Oh, but the one that I did want to share was the worst endorsement I've seen. And when I mean worst, if you guys ever want to endorse PoppinCulture, then you're not that bad at all. And I would love to have you guys endorse the show. But it's this coffee brand that like is like 20, I think it's like a fireman coffee brand, but it's like their slogan is like it's very strong coffee. Like it's like 10 times stronger than like normal coffee. And I just remember thinking, like, I wouldn't want to drink this. Like, I don't want to drink a coffee that has a warning label on it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
So was it actually firefighters promoting it?
Yeah, it's owned by apparently fire, like real life firefighters. But like the social media influencer, I can't remember his name now, but he did a skit about it, and I just remember like it was funny. But then I saw the warning label, and I was like, I don't want to drink coffee that has a warning label. Like you can't put enough cream and sugar in it. Well, you shouldn't if it's that strong. I was just like, this looks like a heart attack. Like, so that was the scary thing. How do you feel about Instagram models? Technically, those are social media influencers.
I do not like them because I feel like there's like a few where you always see them like those sponsored kind of ones where you see them like and then they like promote like well-being and mental health and like oh accept your body the way it is, but then at the same time they have like the perfect bodies and they're like all posing and like the nicest like bathing suits and all that. But I don't know, I feel like I don't really like see myself in any of these because I guess I'm not the typical like woman that's all about fashion, shoes, and female products. So for me, it's not really what I want to see on my timeline. It's not really targeting me. I feel like so, and I just keep scrolling past most of them. But I feel like I don't know how easy it is for them to like get to the point where they have like sponsorships with like companies with clothing or other female products. But I feel like there's also so many of them that there's like a lot of competition probably. And I don't know if they all get sponsored by different companies, but I just feel like it's so oversaturated right now. Maybe it's just my timeline, and I feel like on Google it says like okay, influencers people trust them more than commercials because they're like organic and they actually like support the product. But I feel like if somebody has a really big following and a company reaches out for a sponsorship, I feel like they still probably give them some kind of rules about the product to where it's not really organic anymore because they know that people probably listen more to the influencer than the company trying to sell their product. To where I feel like I kind of like want to have like my own opinion of products and not have somebody with a big following tell me what company brand I should buy to like make myself feel better. So I don't know. I feel like even like followers probably get like influenced or I don't want to say brainwashed with what they should have to like have a good life, be happy. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it.
I got you. To go back to like the modeling thing is I noticed that like Fashion Nova, I guess like everybody has a contract with Fashion Nova because every time I see an Instagram model, they have at least one picture that's sponsored by Fashion Nova. uh, when it comes to like, because Fashion Nova was a little company just like 3 years ago. When it comes to like small companies, do you think it's a smart idea for them to go straight to the influencers, or do you think they should still try to like run normal ads?
Um, I think it's probably good for them because I guess the cost is probably a lot lower reaching out to influencers to promote their product than actually running marketing campaigns and maybe like have billboards or something like that, which is probably super expensive. Um, because I've noticed before when I used to like years ago when everybody started tagging companies and products when the whole influencer thing started, like I tagged stuff here and there, and then I got like a few DMs where people were like, "Oh, we're looking for brand ambassadors. Are you interested?" But I never really like trusted all those messages because for me at first it's like, okay, it's probably some spam. I don't want to trust it. But it seems like to be working, and I feel like the cost is probably a lot lower to get the word out. And they probably think too that going to an influencer, people are probably more likely to buy the product because if there's like a person that has like 2 3 million followers and she says, "Oh yeah, I'm really happy wearing these leggings or yoga pants," and they like actually give like a long review and have like probably discount codes, I feel like people are more likely to buy the product than just driving down the road and seeing a billboard like, "Hey, buy our yoga pants." Because I
Yeah,
guess they feel like more connected with the product if they actually see somebody promoting it.
yeah. I didn't think about that. You're totally right. Plus, it's always the chance that there's more eyes. I mean, they could have 1 million followers, but let's say like just 200,000 of her or his followers share it, then that's even more eyes. So that does make sense that way. Have you bought something because you saw a social media influencer wearing it or a
Um,
product in general?
I've not bought anything because an influencer had it. I used to see like all these like ads pop up in between like stories on Instagram, and there was like a year ago I saw all these like ads pop up where there was like small companies selling their product, and everybody said, "Oh, we're going out of business. We're so sorry. We're closing down." But then I kept seeing more and more of them, and I was like, okay, it sounds like it's just like a scheme they're using where they make people believe like, hey, we have to close, so people like feel like they need to buy something. And there was like one where I bought something, and because I was like, okay, I don't know if it's legit because I just saw so many companies, small companies popping up selling products. But I actually went ahead and bought one product, and it took me to the website and it said like, "Oh, we're closing down, we're sorry." And it actually took six or 8 weeks to get it. um and it was coming out of Texas, I think. And because I did the whole, I bought the item on their website and I got an email, "Thanks for buying, and we will let you know when it ships." And like 3 4 weeks later I never heard back from him. I was like, okay, I probably just like became a victim of one of those scam pages where they sell where they say they're selling something but they're not. And I like message them and they're like, "Oh, can you give us the confirmation number?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're working on it. It should get to you shortly." And they kept saying that like every week, and I was like, okay, it's probably just a scam. And then I think a little after 6 weeks, it actually did arrive, and it was just a little smaller and different than the item description. But that was like my first and last time where I like bought something off like ads on Instagram.
Okay, nice. I'm sorry that that happened. My own personal experience is because I just didn't believe the hype. I bought Disney Plus because of a social media influencer. Like he kind of like went through everything, and I was just like, "Whoa, they got Darkwing Duck," and I was like, "All right, this is it." That's all it took, and I was like, "Okay." So, how do you think in the core of it all? How do you think it has influenced pop culture?
Hmm, I feel like I feel like when there was just like before influencer, when companies actually had to put their ads out, I feel like people had more free thinking maybe of what they liked. And I feel like now with all the like, if they follow all these influencers, they're kind of like being told what they should have, what they should buy. And I don't want to, I feel like people are more biased into like believing what they need now to have a happy life. And and which brand they should buy, which company to support. And yeah, I feel like people might not have. I mean, maybe people don't really realize that what it like does to their thinking. That um, like what they should buy instead of what they like maybe really need. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. I mean, I get what you're saying. Um, Going towards the future with social media influencers, do you think there this becomes the norm, or do you think we reset at a certain point and we go back to just normal ads?
I'm not sure because I feel um like recently I saw a report where they were doing a survey with younger kids, and they asked them, what do you want to be like when you grow up? And I think like 60 or 70% of them said they want to be an influencer later on in life. And I feel like if if everybody, let's say 70% of the kids become influencers, like, I mean, there's got to be people that like still have to make the products, market the products. And I feel like at some point it might get too oversaturated because there's only so many companies and then so many people that can support the company. And then if you have like 50 women like trying to promote the same like yoga pants company, I feel like it like gets into like maybe too much competition. And I don't know if they will go back to regular ads, but I feel like the whole influencer thing, it might just be too much at some point if it like keeps popping up and more people are hopping onto it to where, I mean, I'm not really sure how far it will go. I mean, it's probably a good solution for companies to save on money, and they're like, oh, we don't even have to do anything. People are begging to promote our product and get the word out for like a lot less money than what we would have spent. Um, but yeah, I'm not really sure how far or how long it would go like this. Because I mean,
Okay,
social media keeps changing too. New platforms are coming up, and who knows where it's going to take us.
yeah. In your opinion, well, in your words, um, how would you explain to someone the difference between a social media influencer and a celebrity?
Mm, I feel like a celebrity kind of like has some kind of like credits or stuff that they're famous for outside of social media, like people that are like actors, like famous comedians, um, like TV stars, where well, they're somewhat influencers too, because if they like show up on a red carpet or a TV show, people like want to know what they're wearing, um, what they're drinking, what kind of like brands they buy, and then kind of like, especially like younger people, I guess they want to like have the same products, like, or even like basketball players, like, oh, I need to have the same shoes as he's wearing. And so I guess they're like influencers too, probably not like a social media influencer, but I feel like the outside influencers, like celebrities, they have to like, they actually work hard to get where they are, whereas like influencers just kind of like build up a little social media following, where I feel like it's like a lot easier for them, and just make a lot of money with it. Like I actually looked up earlier how much an influencer makes, and they say it's about 50,000 a year, which is like, why would you even work? And then there was one, I forgot the name of him, but He has like I don't know how many millions of followers, but they said every time he posts something, he makes like $94,000, and he's like the biggest influencer.
Oh, The Rock.
No, I forgot the name. It wasn't like an American sounding name, and I forgot what he did. He started in like 2015. Um, because I think at some point, if you have like millions of followers, Instagram actually pays you too when you like post something. But he was just getting thousands for every time he just posted something,
Must be
which is
nice.
it's just crazy. And then here we are trying to like get to at least 1,000 followers with some jokes we're trying to write and get out.
Well, we'll get there. I know you'll get there. Like you're hilarious.
Thanks.
No problem. You were right though. I didn't think about what you just said, but that makes so sense. To go back to when you said celebrities are also like every time they post something, like The Rock, for example, he has athletic wear with Under Armour, and literally, reportedly, unless MSN is lying, every time he posts that he has new workout wear, it sells out in under an hour.
Wow.
So, I mean, besides just, having a loyal fan base, just having that platform like social media to get it out, where if we just go back to, let's say, 1998, you would have to like go like on a TV show, a daytime TV show, nighttime. You have to go to a company to like, hey, let me talk about my project or my whatever. When now you can still do that, but you also have the option to wake up, take a picture of some yoga pants, and now boom, all your fans, friends, whatever sees it, and it's just it's crazy to see from that side of the coin that it's just it's just so easy now, and that the idea that people are
Yeah.
making just 50,000 a year, like I know to some people 50,000 may not be a lot, but for others that's a lot of money just to
I
upload,
know.
like let's say what, 3 videos a week, if not, if just that. So that's cool. I think maybe we should try this then when you say it like that. What do you think their like end goal is when it comes to social media influencer? Because for me, I haven't seen many that make it past a year.
Um, I haven't really like I don't really follow any, so I can't really tell like how long anybody has been in to influencer business. But I guess it all depends on like the sponsorship you have, like how well the company is doing. Like if it's like a fashion company, they might keep adding on new type of clothing or accessories they're selling. So there's always probably new products for the influencer to promote. But um I don't know, I feel like even for like a coffee company, there's only like I don't know, so much coffee you can promote. Um Because I mean, I guess you can post a couple of times a week about the same coffee, and like, oh no, I'm drinking it here, or you're doing something extraordinary and you're drinking that coffee. But I don't know, because I feel like even like on TikTok with like TikTok famous people, like I even notice on Instagram when I like click on somebody's profile, like, oh, I have so many TikTok views, so many followers. We're kind of like turned into like this status symbol now, like, oh, this person is TikTok famous. But I feel like just by getting 5 million views, you haven't really accomplished anything. Like, yeah, you put some silly videos up and now you're TikTok famous, but I feel like the status can't really buy you anything. Like, I mean, in my opinion, but there's still people out there that see you as some kind of celebrity just because you're TikTok famous. And um like I know there's like TikTok famous people where people are dying to actually meet them, talk to them, but I don't know. I feel like if you're TikTok famous, it might wear off in like a year or two, where people are like, okay, we kind of like know what you're doing and we've seen it, and people might get tired of your style, the things you do, but you probably have to like change it up a lot to like keep people interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Either that or you have to have a niche that's just so like locked in that like, okay, you're one of 10 people talking about it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, as a comedian, and this will be my last question for you. As a comedian, how do you feel about the social media influencers that now turn to comedy for money or become comedians, but they were first social media influencers?
Uh, I'm not like being a comedian and having started like me. I started on a site where I had to like work hard first, and now I'm like joining the TikTok world where I see like people that do it the opposite way. I'm not really like I don't like them too much because I feel like they got famous with like almost no work, just putting some silly, funny things out there, and then now somebody sees them as like a comedian or just super funny person. Or it's like where I feel like I don't want to say I'm offended, but I'm like, okay, for 2 years I'm like working hard, writing all these jokes and going to open mics, trying to like be funny and eventually get booked on shows to where other people just like put out silly things and people like it, and then like, okay, we want to see this person in person, and then I kind of like feel bummed out and like, okay, I'm doing all this hard work and trying to make it. I mean, it's good for them. I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing. I mean,
Yeah, I love it when they put the time in. Two that come to mind is DC Youngfly. He was on Wild 'N Out. He's a very funny guy, and Greenville's own Shelly Belly,
hmm
local comedian, and just to see that they didn't like just like they were willing to learn stand up and then get up there and like really work hard to be good at their craft. You know, it was I'm not gonna say names, but there's a few comedians that I've seen that like they didn't do that. They didn't hit open mics. They didn't try to get good at it. They just went straight to like, yeah, I can do this. And then they get on stage and they don't have 2 minutes of jokes. And now they gotta try to
yeah,
do 45 minutes. So it's those people that like really put in the work. Those are the ones that I really like and I really think that they respect the craft. Um, oh,
yeah.
is there anything else you would like to talk about the topic?
Mm, I don't have anything right now. I mean, if my comedy career fails, maybe I turn into an influencer and make 50,000 a year. I mean,
You have all the yoga pants and coffee you need. Uh, well,
yeah.
thank you so much for coming on to the show. Is there anything you would like to say to your fans?
Um, if I do have fans out there, uh, thank you, and yeah, keep following me if you're fans, I guess. Um, if I do have fans, let me know. I haven't met or heard of any big fans yet, but if I do, let me know. I'm happy to hear. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say.
Cool. Where can they follow you on social media?
I'm mostly present on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Meike. So yeah, mostly Instagram. So if you want to follow or message any comedy questions, feel free to DM me.
All right. Cool, cool. Like I say, guys, comedian Miss Micah is hilarious. If you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, check her out. And she also does a lot of Zoom shows. Thank you guys for listening and have an amazing day.